Hello everyone, I'm Duke James. This is a continuation of my Ireland campaign in EU4 Meiou and Taxes. So a couple of years ago we fought the English and we took all of this territory from them. Dealt them a big blow, I would say. We've been coring the territory. We have some cores. We also have a fort in West Riding and a fort up here in this province, not going to pronounce it. So that's our northern fort, and this will be our southern fort for the meantime. There's also a fort in Cumberland. I'm probably going to leave that until this fort's defense drops to an acceptable level. I'm going to start building in Lancaster, try to get a level 1, or maybe even eventually a level 2 port, definitely. And then I'm also building up here. This area is not as important because I don't imagine there's going to be a lot of fighting up here, but I got this core first, so I'm probably going to make this province another. This province will be probably my main port in England in terms of communication efficiency, because after this province, they walk to this province, and then they're at the this seaboard. There's a couple of provinces that are too wide, pretty much in this area, but the other two have hills, so they're not that good for communication efficiency, whereas these both have trade modifiers and they're both farmlands. So the communication, the runners will go from here probably to Dublin, to Lanarkshire, and then to Loudon, and then they'll come out this way. Getting the rest of the cores. West Riding was the latest, the slowest, because it's the only province that doesn't border the sea. So I had to wait to get a core in a surrounding province before I could start coring that one. Let's see, we make about 18 ducats a month, but we're losing about 2.5 ducats to overextension, so we can make about 20 ducats once we get rid of that overextension. The truce with England ends 26, so there's about 5 years left. I'm not sure if I'm going to immediately attack them. France did attack them for humiliation war. Also, I allied the Pope, because I figure if England attacks me and I'm allied with the Pope, they're going to make the Pope mad. So they might get excommunicated, and then they'll have problems with stability. Plus, I was trying to get more papal influence, but we're still negative. Almost impossible to get papal influence this far away from the Pope. Which makes sense. It's just annoying. I don't imagine France is going to do much. Castile is in the war. Castile has the transport ships, so Castile might land troops. England only has 18,000 troops. I did rival them. So they have 18,000 troops, but their force limit is still 25. So hopefully when we fight them, they only have 18,000 troops still. Our force limit is 14. So I'll build up to 14. And then I should, if we are attacked by England, which I doubt, but if we are, I can go to the estates Should be able to get a couple troops from the greater nobles. At least one troop from the lesser nobles and one troop from the tribals. So I should probably get like 4 troops. So that'll bring me up to about 18. Could probably hire a couple mercs. Get up to 20. Assuming there's a couple troops built up here. Even if they do build 25,000, they would only have like 22, 23,000 because a couple troops would get stuck up here. So we'd probably be like, we'd have 20,000 troops versus 22, 23,000 troops. Denmark donated to Castile. But we're not getting any benefit from these provinces, so I'm going to try to hold off fighting England so we can actually get some benefit. Get all the cores, get the autonomy down, get states. I don't think anything else. Castile is conquering North Africa, which they do often. Turkey is conquering the rest of Hungary. Poland's conquering the White Horde, and Novgorod is pretty big. It's pretty much the world. Everybody's still Catholic, although there are some scattered Calixtine provinces. Georgia. Looks like they, Georgia conquered some territory. Good for Georgia. The burghers demand privileges. Burghers lose 7 loyalty. Ireland gets burghers cause commercial havoc. No privilege for you. I am revoking privileges. We have 9.3 corruption. It'll probably settle around 10. Maybe 10.5. It's mostly the greater nobles. It's a massive amount from the greater nobles, really. I think I'm going to start drilling troops. I'd rent out Condottieri to France, but I have that truce with England, so I can't. I think I'll start drilling these 11,000 troops. For the coming war. And then once we get manpower back above our... Once our maximum is above 14,000, and we start gaining manpower, I'll build a couple more troops. Our general... This guy died in the first day of drilling. That is some bad luck. Our new general is a 3-5-3-2. Sure. We have the best generals. England actually has ships. I I imagine that's because of their heavy ships. I'm going to go ahead and just build a second heavy. England has 5 heavies, so I probably want 3 minimum. Let's go ahead and build a third one just to keep pace with England. Don't want to fall too behind on the heavies. Because the absolute worst thing would be England attacks me and they have sea superiority. So if they attack me and my 11,000 troops are stuck over here, it's not ideal. I'm actually going to move these guys over here so that they're in this seaport. So they're in a striking distance. They can get to England quickly if they need to. Denmark's giving money to everybody. Give me money, Denmark. I'm rivaled with England. Here's a bunch of cores. East Riding. Northumberland. Loudon, Lanarkshire. And then it'll be the Marches and then West Riding in a while. We have lost the effects of plentiful manpower. So our maximum is now 23,000. It's actually a little bit more than that, but I do the corvée labor from the lesser nobles to get cheaper state maintenance. We can grab 7,000 manpower from the greater nobles. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to build... England doesn't really have artillery. We're going to build a couple infantry. Our force limit did drop to 13. And then we'll build infantry so that we can get the maximum benefit from drilling. If you drill your entire force limit, then you get the maximum benefit. The tribals hate me, but they don't really control any of my country, so they're irrelevant. They control like 4 provinces over here. I think Sligo, this one, this one, this one. The burghers did a bunch of building in this province. Let's look at the provinces. So our capital, we do have steel now because there was an event to attract craftsmen. So that bumped us above 75, which was really nice. I love that event so much. Our capital makes 35 ducats. We have steel. There's capital bonus rank 1. There is a regional art and intellectual center. Speaking of the Arts and Intellectual Center, we're going to get Renaissance in 1527. So about 5 years. There's an important center of production. There are 144,000 urban pops, 148,000 rural pops. It is the largest city on the subcontinent. There's some foreign students. There's an important center of trade. We're building an edifice, although we haven't had any events yet for that. Skilled artisans. And there's that trade modifier. The other provinces have... The other trade provinces on Ireland have minor centers of trade. And then the provinces that we conquered from England. There are 5 trade modifier provinces. 2 up here, 1 in Northumberland, 1 in Lancaster, and 1 in East Riding. There's a couple mines. There's a salt mine in Chester, an iron mine in Durham, a salt mine in Loudon. There's a bunch of cod, but that's kind of irrelevant because those benefits aren't shared by us. They're shared by everybody in the node. So it doesn't really matter if you control that. The weird thing is, those provinces, you get those benefits even if the provinces aren't colonized. Which is kind of weird, because you'd think you'd have to colonize a province. Like there's some ivory in Africa that adds to the trade node even if the province is uncolonized, which I guess kind of makes sense because there's still people living there harvesting the ivory, but it's kind of weird to think about. If nobody's there to buy it, except I guess merchants passing by. Let's get these guys drilled. We're building commune halls, as I said in the beginning, in Lancaster and up here. Gonna get those ports, reduce communication efficiency, which is probably... Yeah, it's all red. Ireland's a lot better, but it's not great up here. But these provinces are the ones controlled by the tribals, so it's not a huge priority to get a level 1 port over here. Probably will eventually, once I have some spare cash. There's a corrupt ambassador to France. Our opinion with them is max, so we'll go ahead and do that option, keep the dip. And I'm going to end this part here. Probably pick it up around the time that the truce with England ends, and then we'll go from there. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next part. Goodbye.